Fakakta Comedy Funhouse Network. Yes. Welcome to Couch Pilots, all my friends. It's the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, a.k.a. the Bottle Cap Kid, a.k.a. the Black Magpie. And across from me is my best friend forever in the whole entire universe. It's Captain Philip Restasure. How are you, Philip?
I am honored that you would think that I would be your best friend in the whole wide world.
Yeah, you know,
forever and ever.
Well, time is cyclical, as we all know. And
is it got a cough or something?
What's that? Oh, no.
You said time is sick.
Cyclical. It's a loop. It's an infinity loop. What we've done right now, you and I, what we're doing in this podcast, we've done it a million times,
right.
And we're going to do it a million more times.
Right.
Time is constantly looping back around.
I got you.
And you and I are, I think we've said it before, we're the Romeo and Juliet of podcasts.
Oh.
We're forever star-crossed lovers.
Star-crossed lovers for sure. But no, I am. It makes me warm inside to know that. Now, couple questions.
Yeah, please fire away.
Does this mean I will be the one that sings at your funeral, or do I have to get up and give a speech at your funeral?
You absolutely will die before me.
Really? You think so?
If there comes to a point, like say I was like, man, you know, there's a weird lump in my neck. I'm gonna check it out. And
your lump?
My lovely neck lumps. And the doctor says, hey, Jason, you got about 6 months to live. I'm going to make sure that you die before I do.
Really? Yeah. Well, because I just need to know. I've never had a best friend, and so I don't know what the rules are. Like what I'm responsible for. Like, do if you lose your home because of like financial shambles, do I have to like let you come move into my house?
Yes, that's one of them.
Now I've already shared my wife with you a couple of times.
Sure.
Today even.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord!
Right now, this is a one-sum or two-sum right here. You didn't even get any of that action, buddy. Oh my! Oh my!
She's had some booze. Her face is red.
You know what's great is that I don't blush, but when I feel that way, I like my ears turn red. But thankfully, my ears are covered by the headphones.
She did the she was behind you, kind of sideways, and she did the hand down your front of your chest.
Something was poking me in the back. Two things were poking me in the back.
She can tell that you've been working out.
That's what it is.
But see, since you don't have a significant other, now do you think that would go over? Like, let's say you had a significant other, not necessarily a wife, but a girlfriend.
Okay.
Okay. Let's name her Willette. Okay.
What weird? That's actually the name of the last girl I dated. But that's okay. Go ahead.
But do you think if she was sitting here and Molly was in here, like watching us podcast, because she loves to watch us podcast. I mean,
she can't keep her eyes off us, let alone her hands.
She brings in the step stool and just sits down. But do you think that if I went up to your significant other, put my hands to that and kissed her on the cheek, how do you think that would go over?
With your wife?
With my wife.
Your wife? She'd probably... She knows it wouldn't mean anything, but there'd be a little bit of jealousy in her that she would take out on rage sex with you later. So I think honestly, it's like getting that little piece of dirt inside of an oyster to create that pearl. You're going to get something good out of it.
You think so?
Because that's a minor offense. That's such a minor offense that I think it's.
But I don't think to me and you, it's a minor offense. Like I just saw my wife grope you, and get to first base with you, basically. Almost in a second. Almost in a second.
Well, what's first base then?
Huh?
What's first base then?
Kissing and hand rubbing.
Hand rubbing?
Rubbing of the body.
I got to first base with your wife.
Right. But do you think I get to first base with your girlfriend? If you hypothetically, of course.
Could you get to first base with her?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Of course you could.
Yeah. I mean, I've had so many women you don't even know.
Every girl that I've ever dated's been a whore. So, of course you could get
now,
with them.
Come on.
Every last one of them. Paid for sex. So absolutely.
I thought you meant their attitude was like whorish, but you're saying literally you.
Oh, both of them. Both whores, the pay for sex, and just general whorosity.
I love horosity.
I don't know. What song is that? You have all these songs. You sang a John Cougar Mellencamp song to me once, and I'd never heard that before. You sang some show about I Know My First Name is Steven last week. I don't know what that is. Where are these songs coming from?
I am like a human jukebox. And Molly said that was one of the things that she thought was cute and endearing.
About you? Is that
when we first started dating.
Oddly enough, things that you do not necessarily think are cute and endearing about some of our guests on IBWIP in the middle of the shows. So does that make you a stone cold hypocrite?
I think I do them when it's relevant.
Oh, you don't lay it on too thick.
Right.
Gotcha.
I'll give you an example at some point during the show of both examples.
That's fine. I do want to mention at the top of the show that I recently went to a concert with my daughter, and I've been to a couple in the past. I think we've even talked about it. I went to a Jonas Brothers concert with her once, and I went to a Demi Lovato concert with her a while back before she got real sexed out. And just the other day, I went to see Who's Bad, the Michael Jackson tribute band.
Wow. Interesting.
Very exciting. Were you a Michael Jackson fan at all?
I dressed up as Michael Jackson for my second grade birthday. Had a costume party. My mom scotch taped a curl from my hair, so it made it look like I had that Jerry curl.
Do you know where that hair came from?
Oh no, it was part of my hair.
Oh, okay.
She curled it and then stuck a piece of scotch tape so it would stay curled.
I was thinking like pin the tail on the donkey kind of thing. Like she had some curly hair that came from who knows where, and she then taped it to your head.
No.
Well, okay.
I enjoyed early Michael Jackson, like Off the Wall. Like to me, like Jackson 5, like when he was getting beat and stuff, that was good. And like Off the Wall, living off the wall, baby, don't living off the wall.
Yeah, like that song?
Yeah, but like when you get to Shamone and toward the end with
the way you make me feel
really turns me loose.
You knocked me off of my feet now. Like that?
I like that.
You're like, okay. Yeah. You like my version of it or just any of it?
Just any of it.
Okay.
But your version was scary.
Oh, wow. I have a lot of things to work out.
Believe me. We could be here all day. You know what? We should do a podcast called "We Got to Work It Out."
And we can work it out.
Yeah, and then that would be the theme song. And then every episode,
we'd work it out.
We would spend 30 minutes. We would take turns every 30-minute episode of a problem, and we would work it out.
I guess. I think that's really just called advertising your insanity. I think that's what that show is just called.
But that seems like a lot longer. Just work it out would be better. But if you want to put advertising our sciatic nerve.
Our sciatic nerve? You're activating my sciatica right now. I would say that I love Michael Jackson very much. And I think the first music video I ever saw was Thriller as a very young age, impressionable age, terrifying to a child.
The yellow eyes.
Yeah, it's you could go every once in a while. They'd show Thriller on TV or something, but I saw it when it was like an actual rotation.
Sure.
And again, just terrifying for a kid.
Do you remember the big? Were you were young? You were 6 years younger than me, but were you? Did you watch the first one, like the first time they ever showed it?
No, I don't think so.
It was a big, huge deal.
I'm sure it was.
All day it was leading up to it. It's kind of like the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was like the Super Bowl for a music video. Michael Jackson. And yeah, I remember the whole big shadoo.
Do you really?
Yeah, because they played the extended version.
Is that like 83?
Something.
Because I think Thriller came out in 81 or 82. But yeah, John Landis directed it. Vincent Price, obviously, famously did the narration. One of the things I do remember about that video, though, is when they're being kind of chased by the dead down the street, and then Michael turns around and reveals that he's a zombie. I remember that really made my dad angry.
Really?
Yes. He did not like that Michael Jackson betrayed his girlfriend.
That's crazy.
I think he called him like a jerk or a bastard. And it wasn't like, I don't remember the exact time that he said that. Like the exact viewing of Thriller, but I remember him not being very happy with Michael Jackson.
Wow. 1982.
Okay. Thriller came out in 82, and then the video did not come out in 82, did it? That came out later, like 83,
it was released. It was released in 1982.
The video, really? Because MTV started in, 80, I think, right?
Yeah.
Summer of 80. Wow. Well, I had a very good time at the concert. They had it was... they were close versions because they played the music live. They had a drummer, they had a bassist, a guitarist, they had a saxophonist, and like a trumpet or like a cornet or
horn
something.
section.
Oh, a nice little horn. And there's some songs that's perfect for.
Sure. But there's some songs that you can't replicate live.
Right.
Without synthesizers and CD backing tracks.
They did versions of the song, almost pretty, like very accurate, but some of them they maybe slowed down a little bit or did something different. But they had all the dance moves. There was two different guys being Michael Jackson, and they would come off and on. They were never on stage at the same time until the very end. But one guy would come out, and he was probably more proficient in some songs. And there was an older guy who did a good job. I bet he was probably 40, 45, and he did a great job. Rail thin, just like Michael Jackson.
Sure.
And he had like the long like hair that's been kind of smoothed out.
Right.
And then another guy come out. He wore his the white jacket from Smooth
So
Criminal.
so each one of these was like a different era. Like they were proficient in a different era of.
Maybe so, yeah. But they would the songs would kind of go back and forth from different eras. But yeah, one guy would come out and do like maybe 3 songs. Then the lights. The next guy would come out, and my daughter seemed to really like it. And I took her older brother, and he had a really good time too. And I went with my mom.
Oh yeah,
which was very nice. And I tell you why. Late 2008, maybe early 2009. My mom said, "Hey, Michael Jackson they've announced a tour. They're going to do a big tour." I said, was that something you would go do with me? And I said, absolutely. I would love to see Michael Jackson perform live. And my mom at this point is probably 49, 51, somewhere in there. And she always loved Michael Jackson as a child, and they were the same age. And so she was excited. And I was like, that'd be great to go see Michael Jackson live. That'd be quite a spectacle. We'll make it happen. And a couple months later, he dies. And so this is kind of like, for my mom and I, the show we never got to go to.
The show you never got to see together.
And they ended the night with Man in the Mirror, which is my mom's favorite Michael Jackson song.
Wow. Did she tear up a little bit?
I didn't look, but I could almost guarantee you she did.
Wow, awesome.
My mom was quick to sing. My mom was quick to cry. God bless her. I had a great time seeing it. And next time they come to town, I hope that you and your son come with me.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it would have been perfect because it was just me and him hanging out. It would have been perfect.
What did you guys do?
We played video games, karaoke'd, and broadcast on Facebook.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a good time, too.
It was a good time. And had very expensive Dairy Queen.
That seems like a contradiction in terms, doesn't it?
No, not at all. Dairy Queen's like the Tiffany's of ice cream now.
Is it really? What's so good about their soft serve?
I don't know. 2 medium blizzards cost me $9.44.
You think they're Cold Stone over here? Get out of town.
Exactly. Jeez.
Good God.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
Oh my God, Mondays. Start of a new work week. Furthest point from the upcoming weekend. Garfield hates them.
Garfield hates Mondays.
But I love them.
I don't like the beginning of Mondays. Mm-hmm. But come about 1:30, I'm thinking, I'm going to see Jason in a couple hours. I keep looking at my watch. I'm looking at my watch, and I'm looking up at the time.
And then your supervisor's like, Clayton, stop looking at your damn watch.
And I'm like, hey, I'm going to see my bestie.
Forever. My cyclical universal buddy.
My cyclical buddy.
I love Mondays. I love them because I get to take a flight with my favorite co-captain in the whole entire world. It's Captain Philip Restisher.
Ah, yes.
But we don't just sit next to each other and fly. We record. We record and talk about failed TV shows, ones that failed so badly they only made one episode. And we love it.
If you said, Blake, do you want to do some heroin or podcast?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, podcast.
Really? Over heroin?
If my wife says, you want a blowjob or podcast, I'm going to say, how about a podcast? Then I get a blowjob.
Smart man. Have his cake and blowjob, too.
Right. A podcast and blowjob day.
Yeah. We should do a podcast and blowjob marathon.
Yes.
See how long we can be filleted. Who would? What if you had to choose between heroin and a BJ?
BJ, my wife, does a good job.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Does she have false teeth? Because that helps.
No, she's falsetto though.
Do you you ever done heroin?
No.
I don't know, man.
I was too much of a sissy to do. I was always scared my heart was just going to explode.
It's not an unrealistic fear. I don't know. Like, I've never done heroin.
They say the first time is like the most amazing high ever, but for the rest of the time, you're chasing that demon.
Yeah, that's
you're
right.
To chase that high,
that original high. Absolutely.
And they say you'll never get that again. You'll never experience that like that first time.
How many people do you think go into taking heroin, and they're like, I know that everyone and their brother says you can't beat that first high. I'm going to do heroin, one and done. Do you think anyone goes in with that mindset?
Man, from what I hear, it's impossible to do that.
But do you think anyone goes in there thinking?
Oh yeah. Oh, I'll just do this one time. I have strong-willed. I'll just do it one time.
I'm strong-willed. I know that whatever this high is, I'll never be able to replicate the first time.
Right.
I know that.
So
there's no reason diminishing returns on it. So let me just do it once and have an incredible experience, and then I'll put my hands in my pocket and walk away. Do you think people go in there thinking that?
False sense of hope.
Yeah.
Yep.
I say we give it a shot.
Okay.
Well,
we'll go on the black market of the internet. What's it called? The black net? Black
deep
internet?
web?
The deep web.
The dark web?
Yeah, I heard a podcast where they interviewed Michael Ian Black, and he discussed his dealings with the dark web.
Why does he have dealings with it?
He purchased some drugs.
Oh,
some
really?
ecstasy.
When? Could have been that long ago. 10 years ago?
No, it wasn't 10 years ago. It was not that long ago.
Why was he buying ecstasy? For himself?
Yeah. And supposedly, he talked about, it took weeks. He had to get the code to get into it, and then he got into it, and he had to go transfer money to make bitcoins to pay for it.
What? Jeez. Where did you hear this?
It was on a podcast, Pointless Podcast or something.
You're welcome, Pointless Podcast.
Yeah, it's a video cast. I don't think it's a web. I don't think yeah.
He was on within the past because
It had been recently because he talked about the house he just built. So it had to have been recently.
Huh.
He said he got it and it got in the mail, and that his wife wouldn't do it with him, and so he just did it and took a bath.
It was all worth it. I'm so naive. I don't think anyone's doing drugs. Everyone's doing drugs. I'm so naive to think that people don't, just because I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can barely function on a daily basis with my mental disorders, with my molestation.
Always hanging over your shoulder.
Right on my shoulder all the time, thinking about it all the time. Wondering what I could have done different.
Why your imaginary friend didn't help out?
To make it no, choo-choo fireman did not help. But I couldn't imagine coupling that with the expense and the just addiction of hard drugs. I would like to try the
ayahuasca tea.
Yeah, I would like to try that.
Okay. Yeah, I hear it cures what ails you.
Well, I also hear that you have to to do it right. You have to go and purge and go on these diets and you can only eat raw eggs.
Cleanse your body for a while.
Before you do it? Week, and then you have to. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, there's a big to do about it. It's not just hey, it's Friday. I'm gonna have some ayahuasca tea.
Just pop some pills.
I do want to try it.
I think drug users are probably the hardest working people out there, though. If you got a $200 a day coke habit and you're supplying yourself with that, I don't know what you're doing to get that money, but you're working hard for it.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that much.
That's true.
I think America was built on the backs of everyday drug users.
Oh yeah, Benjamin Franklin, George Washington,
opiate pipes in their pockets. I think
Yeah.
if you look close to the $100 bill, you can see his opiate pipe sticking out of his pocket or his penis is one of the two.
Sure. Yeah, it's just, if we really look back on it, Jesus liked wine.
Yeah.
He turned water into wine. He worked so hard.
He at the end of the day, if you're performing miracles all day, a Christ child just wants to wind down.
Yeah, you just want to have a couple flasks.
Sure.
Or crafts of
Craft wine?
Crafts of wine.
Today we discuss another one of TV's attempts at a superhero show. It's from the year of our Lord, 1997. It's the Justice League of America.
Justice League of America. Justice League of America.
What is this? What are you doing? Is that a song? Is that the intro song?
Yep.
Okay, I missed it. My apologies. 1997. O.J. Simpson found liable in civil suit.
It seems like forever ago that we talked about when he was just in trouble. You know what I mean?
Because it got bad reviews on Naked Gun 33 and Third.
Yeah.
He chopped that woman's head off. Yeah. She
Was it chopped all the way off?
I don't know. Are there if I Google that? No, don't. Close your eyes. Is that something can that be seen? Are there pictures out there where you can see the crime scene?
I'm going to look.
I don't want to see it. I don't dig into that stuff. Like if I'm on a site that has a hardcore pornography and it's got a bunch of weird stuff, it'll say, "Hey, man jumps in front of a train, explodes." I'm not clicking
no,
that.
it's got no.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see anything gross or graphic. I just want to see things going in and out of women. That's all I want to see. Are you looking at it right now? We'll let Google take its time. If you're found liable in a civil suit, in what way is that not saying, I absolutely murdered those people? You are looking at it. You are looking at it.
I don't know if it's real.
I can tell. Why would you? You don't want to see a man explode, but you can look at whatever horrors you're seeing there.
Man, that's a lot of blood.
Why are you looking at that?
I don't know.
Turn away. Close it. What do you need? What do you need your computer open for at all?
To look at the IMDb score.
Whoops.
Look at the IMDb score.
Heaven's Gate cult members commit mass suicide in California. Pull up a picture of that. Let's see them all wearing their pearly white kids.
It'll be really good for a podcast if we just start randomly talking about stuff and just looking it up on the internet.
Yeah, people love that.
Just look at the pictures.
Now you describe to me the horrors you're seeing. Timothy McVeigh sentenced to death for the Oklahoma City bombing. Good. Kill that guy.
Yeah. Kill that mother effer.
To me, if there is zero doubt that someone did something, kill him instantly.
Yeah. Don't waste taxpayers' money.
Yeah, take him, usher him out of the courtroom, into a concrete room 5 feet away, and shoot him in the head.
Yep.
And be done with it.
Well, just gas him.
No. Shoot him in the head.
Really?
Or crush him with a stone. Or beat him in the head with a baseball bat lined with barbed wire.
That's a reference from Dead Man Walking.
Walking Dead Man Walking?
Yeah.
The Walking Dead Man Walking, starring Kevin Bacon, Lettuce, and Tomato?
I don't watch it.
2 convicted in the New York Trade Center bomb. This is all terrible news.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about that. Titanic crashes into theaters. Better news.
You had me a little nervous there. Yeah. I was like, wow.
This is a pilot from 1912.
I was really drunk back in those days because I thought it was so much earlier that had happened.
Too much drinking. You and Chris Hardwick just drinking your lives away. How many times... Did you see Titanic more than once in the theater?
I never didn't see it in the theater.
But you have seen it?
I don't think I've seen it all the way through.
Wow, you're the guy.
Huh?
You're the guy.
That's never seen it?
You're the guy. I found him.
Hey, today I met 2 people, you including, that had never been on Facebook.
Yeah, we're in talks right now with some people about maybe working something out with our network, joining us or cross-promoting, and one of them's like, yeah, I don't do Facebook. And I said, well, prepare your lips to be kissed by me.
And I was like, jealous.
Yeah, you got your milk boner out. You started saying, yeah, kiss him. Kiss him real good.
Kiss him, buddy.
It is the most expensive film of all time, costing between $250 and $300 million to produce and market.
Why?
It
was a boat.
Well, Billy Zane, I think, just got in a car accident, so they had to reconstruct him, which costs about $100 million.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's
all that water, because water is super expensive.
Well, you can't. Yeah, don't get me started. I don't even drink water. I just drink soda anymore. It's way cheaper. Ellen DeGeneres outs herself. Remember that cover of Time magazine or Life magazine?
No.
Yep, I'm gay. That's what it says on the front.
Yep, we knew it beforehand.
Yeah, we've seen your haircut. Okay, we know you're gay.
Right.
Fantastic. She becomes the first openly gay woman to have her own sitcom. Great. Good job. I don't know. What else do you want me to say? Portia de Rossi. That's a good-looking woman.
Who?
Her wife.
The ex-wife? Are they getting a divorce?
Are they getting divorced?
I think so.
Oh, well, she needs to eat something. She's about 8, well... Maybe I could help her out with that. Maybe I could help her eat something. Portia de Rossi. I like sausage, baby.
I don't like it. It doesn't taste good. I like tacos.
The Prince of Pop is born to Michael Jackson and wife Debbie Rowe. You know what Debbie Rowe looks like? She looks like every neighbor I've ever had. Michael, I don't want... I mean,
is
I know
that Blanket?
No, I think that's the youngest one. Isn't there one called named Prince? He's got 3 kids, I think. The oldest
really?
one, yeah, is a guy, a boy, or a girl's the oldest, I think. No, maybe a boy's the oldest and a girl, and then he's got a younger one. Anyway, I don't know. The child's name is Prince Michael Jr.
Prince Michael II.
Junior. I don't know. It's bizarre. The Debbie Rowe thing, I think it's just like a contract agreement that she pumps out these kids. She gets
So he doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, she gets $1 billion trillion, and then she gets to look like a melted candle the rest of her life. Good job, Debbie. How old were you?
None of them even look black. The daughter, the youngest daughter, looks like your daughter.
Looks like my daughter?
Yeah, in a way.
Oh, boy. Hey, how old were you when
In
this
a
came
way.
out?
What?
How old were you when this movie
22.
came? 22. Great age.
Great age. Great age.
Great age. I was 16 years old. Just got my driver's license. Just learning about the death of Princess Diana. Boy, that was heartbreaking, wasn't it?
Grab those Beanie Babies.
Yeah, selling for 2 cents on the dollar. Why did we choose the Justice League of America?
3 simple reasons.
To dating my daughter.
Exactly. First off, it was a pilot that never went to series. That made a failed pilot. That is number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2, everybody at home, say along with me. It was easily accessible. That means we could find it without really working too hard. And finally, come on, everybody, stand up. Hold on.
Okay.
Even if you're at work, stand up.
Stand up.
If you're in a subway, stand up and say.
Even if you're in a carnival ride.
Even if you're on a carnival ride, stand up and say, because it's free.
Because it's free.
Those are the 3 things.
3 days ago, it was reported in the news that Michael Jackson's daughter, Paris Jackson, is totally out of control.
Really? Imagine that.
Who gives a shit? I don't know. Maybe this episode of Couch Pilots gets a lot of hits because this is a popular thing right now, these superhero movies, specifically the Justice League. People are probably saying, where can I find this? I don't know about this. Where do I find it?
Where would I find it? But let me tell you.
Yeah, let me tell you. Well, we'll get into that for sure. I found it on dailymotion.com, and you found it where? Dailymotion as well, but a different version?
I have to go back into my sent file. Hold on a second.
Captain Rest Assured and I watched the same show, but with
comicbooknews.com.
Cosmic Book.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah, I didn't have my glasses on.
That's all right.
I didn't have my teeth
in. And I think I found a better version.
Yeah, that I wish I saw the version that you saw.
Well, maybe not, because mine was like an hour longer than what you saw.
Right, but the first one I saw there was this hissing sound the whole time.
Yeah.
Like a squeaking sound.
Yeah.
Like feedback.
How did it sound? Will you please turn your Japanese porn off when you're doing this?
Right. And then I found another one that about a minute and a half into it, I realized that the audio and the video was not in sync.
Oh, it sucks.
And I said, bye.
Pretty good stuff.
Thank you. And then I found a third one, which was acceptable. It was not very good, but it was acceptable. And then come to find out, you watched an hour and 2 minutes more than me.
Yeah, you watched like a 24-minute version. Mine was like 80-plus minutes. Jeez. Whatever. We're gonna sort out the differences here in just a moment. If you want to watch the Justice League and you want a good version of it, watch the one I watched. But you're going to be on there for 80 minutes. Go to Google.com. Type in Justice League of America pilot and click on videos. It'll be on there under Daily Motion, and you're going to get a pretty good version of it.
Yeah, you're gonna give me that link. I'm going to process that. Go put it through our Norton antivirus,
right?
Because
convert it to blue.
There's a 47-step process for me to make a link blue, and I'm going to do that.
Wow. For who?
For the listeners.
Yeah.
Frequent flyers.
But surely
gold members.
That's going to take. It's going to take time for you to do that. And your time is not free. How much are you going to charge the people for doing that?
I'm going to give every listener 10 frequent flyer points.
What?
I'm going to pay them.
No way.
Hold on, I'm going to put it in here now.
Let me do this. Let me do this while you're doing that.
Okay.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
Oh, God.
You focus on that, and I will look down and see John waving his wonderful golden cones.
Woo! He's back.
Back after his week hiatus.
Love that guy.
Full effect. Boy, I feel like he just pinched the hose there. He just had so much energy from the week he wasn't here, and he just let it all out today.
If you listen to the last episode, we had you had a phone conversation with him at the end of the show. Trying to find. We were very concerned about where he was, if he was okay. You got a hold of him. He double booked himself.
Yeah.
We said, hey, we can't pay you because you weren't here. He came in early this morning, and said, "Hey, I need the money. I'm making six figures, but if I lose one day of pay, it makes it pretty rough." So I let him use a paid personal day.
Oh, did you?
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't talk to you about it.
You didn't, but I'm okay with it.
Okay, good.
Honestly, I wasn't upset. I was more just worried about him last
Sure.
week.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was stricken with fear.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would give him the pay too. I would. But what I wanted to do is just convey a message to him.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah, normally to convey that kind of message, you just punch him in the back of the head.
Exactly.
Not just him, but you just go to somebody and I'm trying to convey this message, and you just bam in the back of the head, just right behind the ear.
If we've learned nothing from this podcast or just our daily lives, violence is most often the answer.
Yeah, in baseball and everything.
If you want to, first of all, there's no crying in baseball.
Oh, if you're crying, you're a girl.
Yeah, if you're crying, you're a girl.
You're wearing a dress on a baseball field.
That's right. That's ridiculous.
That makes no sense.
But violence will solve problems.
Oh, yeah. Look at Nina here.
Who? Nina?
No. Listen to this.
All right.
What did you just say? You said
Nina.
No, before that. Violence.
Violence is the way.
Yes.
Forget what Gavin Rosdale of Bush once said. It is the way.
Because look at war. World War I.
Violence.
Had to do it that way.
Yeah. Who won that one?
We did.
USA all the way.
Yep.
And how do we do it?
Guns.
With violence.
Ammunition. Bazookas. Nuclear war.
Yeah.
Nuclear warheads. World War II. Again.
Who won that one?
We did.
How do we do it?
Guns. Bombs.
Freeze rays.
And then finally, Civil War.
Right. Captain America Civil War?
No.
Well, they won that one with
that's
violence.
a cheap hashtag
Oh.
to get hits.
Uh-oh. It's superhero heavy.
Clickbait, that's what that's called.
Well, violence does solve many problems, and we're learning that firsthand today. What else we can learn is the summary of the pilot. An evil weatherman intent on destroying New Metro City with a series of malevolent meteorological mishaps. Can the superpowered and semi-employed Justice League of America save the day, or will New Metro be drowned in a humongous tidal wave?
Anything can happen.
And probably will.
Meteorological mishaps. Say that again. Malevolent meteorological mishaps.
Mishaps almost looks like should be my shaps, doesn't it?
The My Shaps is a little old place where things go wrong. Mishaps, baby. Mishaps, baby.
I love mishaps. If I know what I'm going to say, I can do a passable Fred Schneider.
It's good.
I love the B-52s. You like Rock Lobster?
It's all right.
I like My Own Private Idaho. I think that's my favorite song with him.
You what?
My Own Private Idaho?
Oh, I knew like two songs.
Okay.
Love Shack and Rock Lobster.
Interesting facts.
Ooh.
Facts are out there.
All right.
No doubt about it.
You do this all the time. Let me handle this.
Please.
I'm not going to read the... Listen. I got some fan feedback, and it's associated with this. We got some fan
We
feedback.
had fan feedback last episode. We got more today?
Yeah, we got more today. I'm going to read it.
Where are you culling this from?
This is from our Facebook page, the Couch Pilots Facebook page.
Right.
This comes from Folsom, California, on our friend Conrad. I can't say his last name because that's...
Didn't we already talk about this or not?
No, this is new.
Oh, did he give us something before?
Yes, but this is new.
He's got more fan feedback for
Yes.
us. Okay.
And this was the day that The Dark Man came out.
Okay.
So it's been a while. Okay. Such interesting asterisk.
Mm-hmm.
So, such interesting asterisk facts about Darkman today! ! And then below there's an asterisk that says, I am not, nor have I been associated with or employed by any airline or airline fictitious or otherwise.
Why would he throw the word fictitious in there?
I don't know. I mean, this plane cost us $1.3 million. It's not very fictitious.
It's very real to me. I'm sitting in it right now.
We put our lives on the line.
What is this guy talking about? Interesting facts? Is he trying to be funny?
We've said this 100 times, and yes, we're a little bit ahead. Like a lot of times, if you put in fan feedback, you're not going to hear it for about a month because we're so far ahead. But that time will decrease during the summer because we're not going to spend every Monday together.
Well, maybe I'll just do them by myself then.
Okay, but listen, folks. Again, we have talked about this for umpteen 30 episodes. We're going to give you facts. Jason is going to give you facts.
Yep.
The segment is called Interesting Facts. It's not for you to tell us, comment to the person next to you, nothing. Don't say your thoughts about it. Just take the facts, retain the facts, process the facts. Within yourself, you can do whatever you want, but don't verbalize or in writing on a social media page. We cannot have this. Conrad, I love you to death, but you're going to start losing points. You're going to start losing frequent flyer points. And he's got enough to take 3 flights with us. But he's all the way in Folsom, California.
Conrad, I don't condone this behavior at all.
He's got 2 children that he's putting in jeopardy.
Yeah, you need to set an example.
He's got a beautiful wife that I met before they got married.
Did you have
when
a
they
threesome
first
with her?
started, no, he wouldn't let me. He just started talking to her. When I met him, they had just started talking.
Yeah, that's the prime time to do it too.
Right, I should have just slid in there. But I have a wife.
Your wife. Your wife. Borat. Your wife.
Anyway.
White wine.
Okay. So
I've got some more. Hold on.
Okay. Guys, gals, women, children,
androids,
our furry friends, please listen to the facts, retain them. Don't share your views, and go.
Conrad, thank you for being one of our frequent flyers. Do not make us block you from that page. You're spreading ill will, and you're tainting those around you.
Because then somebody else sees that. Like, Big E sees it. He goes, that's an interesting fact. I'm like, come on.
Big
E like
is
AIDS.
so impressionable.
It's like AIDS. One person does it, next thing you know, everybody's doing it. And then we're out of control. Then one of the staples of the show just crumbles.
Yeah. You talk about, a cornerstone, something that a building stands on. We stand on our interesting facts. We back them. We stand behind them. We know for a fact that they are pure and true. And for someone to taint them with their personal opinion really compromises their integrity. And I feel like that's what you're doing, Conrad. And I feel like you know what you're doing.
He's bruising our taint, is what he's doing. He's bruising our taint.
The area between our anus and our
yes, he's just
satchel?
He's just punching it. Again, violence.
Taint punching.
Conrad, think of it this way. If you put that stuff on social media, you know what's going to happen?
Bruised taint?
Bruised taint. Then what happens after that?
It heals.
Then what happens after that? The show dies from contusions.
This is
have you ever had a partner and just punch her in the taint?
No. I think
sounds cool.
I think the taint.
I want to do it.
You want to do it?
I think I want to just to see like a full punch, just like
is that a maneuver? Like is that a
sexual
name?
maneuver?
Yeah. Is that a name?
The Couch Pilot. Wow.
The frequent fister.
The frequent fister. All right, let's go. Facts that is labeled as interesting.
The Green Lantern in this movie is a composite of 3 of the ring bearers, and they say that because the Green Lantern has a ring that gives him his power. The classic Hal Jordan, modern Kyle Rayner, and the 80s era Guy Gardner. Hal makes up the character's basic appearance, sans mask. Kyle makes up the mask, badge, and wrist gauntlet, while the name and vest come from Guy.
Wow.
A lot of information about that.
A lot of information.
Some nerd wrote that. Although developed by CBS to be a pilot for a television series, it never aired in the U.S. markets, but did air in the U.K. and Europe.
We have a lot of fans in the UK and Europe, so
maybe one of them saw it. Maybe one of them can send us an email at couchpilots@podcast@gmail.com.
Yes, I hope so. Do you ever check that?
No. Next to the phone in Green Lantern / Adam's apartment, because they live together, there's a perfectly framed picture of an Air Force jet similar to a comic panel. The Green Lantern Hal Jordan was a test pilot fresh from the Air Force. That's a stretch, I think.
Do you have that much time to put all these little things in like you should be focused on not you, but the writers and the creators should be focusing, and the directors should be focusing on making a quality product.
Who does this person think they are? Stanley Kubrick?
Nobody's going to pay attention to that. Your little, what do they call them? Easter eggs? Is that what they call them?
Yeah.
Easter eggs? Fuck that. That's stupid.
Oh, jeez.
Get over yourselves. Maybe you should have made Fire's outfit not fucking green.
Oh my God, she's attractive.
She's attractive. But
I have a whole dissertation on that later. Miguel Ferrero went on to play Weather Wizard in Superman the Animated Series. So while never called the Weather Wizard, they're called the Weather Man. Maybe it's the same or a version of the same villain. Most of the big names from the Justice League, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, do not appear due to copyright infringement
I knew
issues.
that's what it was. I was watching this, and I was like, who are these other three superheroes?
We've got the B team.
I brought... I got a story about that. We don't have time. Damn. I brought my 8-year-old stepson in here, and I said, who the fuck is this guy right here?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know. I go, who's this lady right here? He was like, I don't know. I've never seen him before. And he knows all about Pokemon.
I gotta wonder if some of these characters were just made up for this.
Oh, yeah. Well, they had to have been because, yeah.
Very loosely based upon the Justice League and JLI comic books from the late 80s, which were written by Keith Giffen and J.M. DeMatteis.
Rock me DeMatteis.
DeMatteis.
Rock me DeMatteis.
DeMatteis. Rock me DeMatteis. I love that song. Falco, right?
Yeah.
R.I.P. While in the comic it is known that Jean Janziz is from Mars, it is never stated in the film. Thus, 300-degree beach day line may be accurate. Which I don't remember that. None of that fact doesn't make sense to me at all. I believe that it is true.
I'll tell you what, that is not an interesting fact.
Okay. You know what? I'm done. I'm gonna...
What? I didn't say it was. I said it wasn't. Can't I say it wasn't?
It's still qualifying it. You're still putting some sort of adjective with it.
Oh.
This is my laptop. I'll be back for it later. I'm going to turn it 90 degrees. Everything you need to do to complete the show is on here. And I'm done.
No.
What do you mean, no?
I can't do this without you. We are up at the
You're going to
air.
have to do it without
I can
me.
only do all... You
I'm going to sit in the back of the plane facing the back.
Come on, man. We're best friends.
I feel like you take advantage of that when you say things. You take advantage of our friendship when you come out and... You even said, "Hey, you know what, Jason? I want to talk about the interesting facts. You always talk about, and then you go ahead and why don't you go to Rufus, California, with Conrad?"
Well, here it lies. Okay, see how frustrated you are right now? You're sweating. That's how frustrated you are right now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. When you backpedal and go around my molestation when I try to talk to you about it, and just act like it's no big deal,
Do you feel like this is the forum for that? I write the description of the show every time.
I
say,
my name is Steven.
God damn it! You know I love that song. You know that song gets me off of the edge.
It's your decompression song. Hey,
Okay.
Molly's not here to give you a hand job while you do this. So.
That's where I was going to go. I was going to leave here and get jerked off by your wife. This was filmed in Vancouver,
My
British
wife?
Columbia, Canada. The end. Let's talk about the show. You know, you watched. What is wrong with you? I watched an 80. I came over here and I said, you know what? I had a really busy day today. I mowed the grass. I changed the oil in my truck. I met some stranger at Target to buy his Nintendo DSi for $20. I had lunch. I dropped some stuff. I had a really busy day, full schedule. So I came home and I was like, "Oh, let's watch both these." And I found out, oh my God, the Justice League show I have to watch is 80 minutes long. So I came to your house. I said, "Hey, I got 20 minutes left of this show to watch before we start recording." And you said, "Well, you've only got 4 minutes into it." And right then, I knew we had a problem.
Houston, we have a problem. Because I was like, I texted you last night, and I was like, I want to punch my wife. I hate this so much.
And I mean,
and that was 8 minutes into it.
Well,
I couldn't imagine 80 minutes.
Well, I'm going to start talking about it.
Okay.
And then you jump in with the stuff that you know about, because obviously I have an hour's more information and a lot of B storylines. You were watching a little bit with me when I was finishing it up, and I was actually calling out the scenes that you probably weren't in what you saw because they weren't detrimental to the storyline.
Right.
All right.
New Metro, USA.
Starts with an interview with Ice, also known as Tori. Is that what you saw?
Nope. I saw. Nope. I'll tell you what. The first thing I saw, and we'll go back to yours.
Sure.
I just want to let you know where I was.
That's fine.
The first thing I saw was Tori and the scientist.
In the lab talking.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a woman named Tori who would later join the Justice League, known as the character Ice. She gets like some chemicals spilt on her later. But she works at this laboratory. I think they study weather and that sort of thing. Throughout this show, you've got kind of like talking heads is what I think they call it, where they show the person standing there. There's a black background, and like they're talking to someone off camera about their experiences during this time of their life.
Right.
And to me, that's kind of an interesting take to put on a superhero. So it feels like it makes it real. Like these people are, because so many times if you see a superhero movie, it's right there in the moment, and they take care of that. The problem, or they save a person, or they put away a villain, and then that's it. You move on to the next thing. But these people are kind of taking the time to reflect on the experiences they had here.
Sure.
And to me, again, that's an interesting take on the superhero genre.
Yeah, and for me, watching the abridged version, I didn't understand when those things happened. I was just like, where did that come from?
And I'll tell you, in the version I saw, there's never any kind of payoff for that. It's just this kind of
filler.
It's kind of a filler or an other narrative that's happening, but you have no payoff from what I've seen in that as to why or who they're talking to or why it's happening. You just accept that it is, and you learn a little bit about what they were thinking at the time or a little behind the scenes of what was going on in their mind at that moment. But this starts out with an interview with Ice. They're kind of talking to her a little bit about her experience. She's like, "Oh, I never thought I'd be a superhero." And then it kind of shoots around to the different members of the Justice League. And this isn't about the forming of the Justice League. These are people who are helping people already. And again, another interesting take. You kind of see them in their everyday lives,
right?
And I like that. I kind of like some of this stuff. Okay. The Flash, he can't pay his bills, so he's getting kicked out of his apartment. Did you see that?
I saw. Yeah, he was the guy. The landlord was throwing his stuff out and. He's like, I lost my job today. I just need a place to stay. And like the guy's like, I don't give a damn, you know. Yeah. And then throws all this soft stuff out, and then throws his DVD player out and just.
Well, was that DVD player in '97? It looked like a receiver to me or something. Oh. You saw a highly pixelated version of it.
Yes, very.
I never think about the bills or the income that superheroes have, but it plays a factor in this. It really does.
Yeah, I that's the last thing I would think of. Besides, are they having sex
with each other?
I don't know.
Guy Gerardo, whatever his name is, that's one of the handful of Green Lanterns that have been out there. But this is the one that they focus on in this show, known as the Green Lantern. He is a software engineer.
Yeah, and he doesn't do. Him and his girlfriend are
very rocky.
Very rocky.
Her name is Cheryl. She's a redhead.
And you know what they say about redheads?
I've been with some redheads.
Me too.
And I was
with a virgin redhead.
Wow.
Until I got done with her.
Wow. I don't know. I'd like to.
Some would call me a superhero.
What do they call redheads, or what do they say about
them? They have tempers. They're feisty.
Okay. That's not necessarily been my experience with them.
Okay.
But I'll tell you that later. I'll tell you about my experiences with redhead.
How come you do all this stuff off mic and I just...
They make weird noises during sex. Like I had one do this once.
Shut your mouth.
Like she was...
A horse?
Of course.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but it was during the height of passion. I think she was trying to regulate her breathing or... I don't know, like process what was happening to her physically.
This has been the best 50 minutes of my life. This really has been the best 50 minutes.
Yeah, you said, why does that have to be off mic? Here it is right on mic. That's been my experience. Anyway, again, I will emphasize that I like the civilian aspect of these superheroes, things that you wouldn't normally see. A lot of the time, it's like, hey, I'm dealing with this heavy stuff, or it's time for me to update my gadget, or I'm trying to fine-tune my ability, or now I'm confronting this. But this is like, hey, I just can't pay my bill this month. And that's like,
I got to move in with my 2 superhero buds.
That's right. There's a hurricane approaching the city at this point. Again, the city of New Metro, which I've heard of Metropolis. I've heard of Gotham. And those are fictitious cities that lie within the DC universe of superheroes. Right. I don't know about New Metro. Maybe that's one. I don't know where it is. I don't know.
I don't even remember hearing about Old Metro.
Right. Let alone regular Metro.
Right. Or exactly. Or Next Generation.
Right. Or Babylon 5. The guy is with his girlfriend, and he has to leave his date. I think he gets a little call on his phone. And this is happening all the time, apparently, because they're having a rocky relationship.
Right. She's like, you leave all the time.
She leaves, and then we go to the next girl. Her name is Bibi DaCosta. And God damn it, I'm the black magnet. I want to be within this girl's vicinity. She is the character known as Fire, and she's in a banana costume. She's an actress going to an audition. And, oh my God, she gets just increasingly sexier throughout the show.
Well, I'll tell you what, it kind of took me, it kind of caught me off guard when she was dressed as a banana. It took me a long time to recover from that.
There's a point later where she's in a midriff. There's a point where she is about ready to go running. Did you see that part? Oh, it's just a skin tight. This woman is this is one where you later go to Google and type in her name, which is like Michelle Hudson or Michelle Hurd. And then you type in nudography after that to see if she's ever been nude in anything. And then you take care of business.
Yeah, she's attractive.
I'm really into her. Then you find Ray Palmer, also known as Adam. He's a high school science teacher. And this guy is a nerd.
Oh, yeah. There's always one nerd.
But he looks... Every superhero I've ever seen just injects steroids directly into their brain 1,000 times a day, and they were ripped to the core. This guy is not that way.
No, not at all. I mean, his suit that he puts on has definition, but when he doesn't have his suit on,
forget about it.
He's like me.
He looks just like you. You could be Adam. They're talking about at this laboratory that Tori works at with a Dr. Eno. They're talking about harnessing hurricanes for energy. There's a lot of talk about weather and how they can use the power of Mother Nature to our advantage. I don't know. A storm reels in, and everyone's still outside. Did you see this part where the hurricane's
everybody's outside, and then all of a sudden the storm is going to hit. But really, to be honest with you, it's bright as can be out. Very bright. A little windy. Until the golf balls just start falling from the heavens.
Yeah, that's right. It's very bizarre because there's people out doing construction work. There are kids at playgrounds. And there are cats under porches.
Yes.
And why are these things happening? The cat I get, but why are there kids playing at a playground? Why is a mother sitting there reading a Cosmopolitan while the kid's playing and the hurricane's moving in? Why is that happening?
I think it's because it came up so fast that they didn't have the knowledge. It's not like nowadays where they tell you like a week before that there's a possible hurricane coming.
Electrical poles are falling down. Concrete walls are falling down. And
London Bridge
was falling down. Who comes to save the day? The Justice League. They come into town and they start pulling people out of the way. They start lifting things up, making sure people are safe.
And there's old lady saying that her cat is under the steps or something, and she can't get to it. She's like, "Come on, kitty, come on, kitty, come on, pussy." And the cat doesn't come out. So all of a sudden, Adam is standing there.
How did he find out about this?
I don't know. ATOM, not ADAM.
Yes.
And he says, "Ma'am, don't worry about it." All of a sudden, shrinks down, goes in, pulls its tail a little bit, cat comes out.
A lot of times when you look at popular superheroes, you can say, here's a superhero, here's a company that makes comic books, and they've got this superhero. Here's this other company, they've got a similar superhero. Adam is the DC's version of Ant-Man. He can grow and shrink on command.
Right, and that's why I said to Eli, I was like, is that Ant-Man? He's like, no, that's not Ant-Man. I was like, oh, well, he's doing the same thing that Ant-Man does.
That's exactly right. A lot of these things, I said, are kind of universal between companies. But he shrinks down, and he goes and gets the cat out of the porch. If for me, I was the cat, I'd just eat that guy.
Oh, yeah, or flick him away with your tail.
Yeah. Anyway, the cat comes out, he grows. Great job, Adam. Way to save a cat. At this point, you've seen everyone in their costumes, and you realize these are terrible costumes.
Oh, yeah, they're horrible costumes.
The Flash is bright red and just like this skin-tight spandex, brightest red, brightest yellow zigzags for the lightning bolts coming off of them. They look like they're pulled directly from their comics, which to me is never good for a superhero making the transition to a live-action show.
And right before the storm, we meet the Mexican weatherman on the screen.
Yes, this person apparently caused the hurricane. They never say how he does it, but
he's just like her. He's like face is projected like on the side of a big building.
Yeah, he keeps interrupting broadcasts, or he keeps broadcasting these messages where he's just saying, "Hey, I'm the weatherman. Hope you like this weather coming up." And it's like, okay, great. So, I mean, it's bad weather, but like, whatever.
Right, but I was like, what gang is? When I first saw it, I was like, what gang is he from? Like he's got black sunglasses on and like a handkerchief over his.
The Latin Kings and Queens.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say because it was black and white, and that's L.A. Kings.
He looks like a. I have written here tinfoil terrorist because his outfit is so shiny and silver, and he's got sunglasses. And he's just trying to mask his appearance. But yeah, he on the side of a building, 100-foot screen, he just kind of pops up in these different spots. It looks so stupid. BB DaCosta, Fire, she is at an audition for like a commercial or something, and there she sees a guy named Martin who instantly is falling in love with her.
Who wouldn't?
Technically,
you could play a Martin.
I would love to be in that guy's shoes. That guy, David Krumholtz. Actor who I couldn't begin to name the things he's been in, but a definitely recognizable character actor. And I thought he was pretty good in this. And you didn't see much of him at all.
All I saw was him catch her when she was a banana. That's all I saw.
There's a whole storyline with him and Fire that was taken out of the version you saw. Flash, we find out, is staying with the Green Lantern and Adam because he got kicked out of his apartment. And he cleans up the place, which kind of pisses the Green Lantern off for some reason. I'd be like, "Hey, thanks a lot, buddy."
Yeah, he's like, "We got to talk about something." What? He was like, "Your life.
You need to get a life, buddy."
Yeah, you need to get a life.
It's like I've been here for 2 hours.
Right? Yeah. He's like, "Well, what's wrong?" He's like, "Well, I come home and my apartment's rearranged." Oh, well, that got to suck then, right? Jeez.
Yep. And at this point, Fire comes over, and we find out that the Green Lantern and Fire used to date.
Ooh,
which comes up a couple times during the show.
That did not come through my angles.
Later they say they only went on 2 dates, which means he probably didn't fornicate. Maybe he did.
Oh, he's a Green Lantern.
Do you think he did?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think he can create a giant green phallus?
He's got to be able to.
What a waste if not.
I saw him create a umbrella, green umbrella.
Yeah. I saw him create a helicopter or something.
Well, it was like umbrella helicopter.
Well, there's umbrella. Did you see during the hail scene? I know you love that song. Did you see the scene where the hail came down?
Yeah, where he saved that girl, which is actually his girlfriend.
But she didn't know.
Yeah, she couldn't even recognize that her own boyfriend was the Green Lantern. Give me a break.
Dummy. Ice is working in the lab, her name is Tori still at this point. She hasn't really converted to this. And she finds like a hidden case. Did you see this?
Nope.
Okay, the short-haired blonde chick who looked like she had a bowl cut.
Yeah.
Again, the hair ruined this girl for me. She kicks this thing for some reason, and it moves to the side, and she finds this like metal case, and she opens it, and some chemicals kind of spill on her, or a mist gets to her.
Oh no, I did see that.
Okay, and everything she touches after that turns to ice.
Hence the name.
At first, she doesn't notice it
because she touches it and walks away, and it was the beaker.
Yeah, and she goes outside, and she's walking around outside at night, and there's a rollerblader. Did you see this?
Yes.
And the rollerblader kind of rollerblade jumps in front of her. He's like, "Whoa, watch out!" And he's rollerblade, and then he like falls into the river, and he just like starts screaming for help immediately.
Right, he's like 1.5 feet from the shore.
Yeah, and probably 1.5 feet of water because when she steps out there, like she's just walking to him, and then she freezes the lake or the river or whatever it is.
And then he's just sitting, it's frozen in the. I mean, he's not frozen, but all the water's frozen.
Yeah, and he's like, "Whoa!"
And again. Damn it, we're already an hour into this. I don't have time. This would be the perfect time to tell you the story about when I almost died by falling into the lake.
Man, I so badly want to hear about how you almost died.
God, that makes me mad. Okay, go ahead.
The time we're spending talking about how we wish we could hear it probably could have been spent telling the story.
No, it's a long story.
Okay, so the rollerblader falls in the ice water, and then we cut back to the house, the apartment, and everyone's over there, and they haven't met Tori yet. You got Adam. You got the Green Lantern, you got the Flash, and you've got Fire. They're all hanging out at the house, and they're working on the TV. And Adam's shrunk down so he could get inside the TV to work on it. And they can't figure it out. And then they got some dude over there, some TV repairman. They finally fix it. But before they fix it, they say, hurry up. We're going to miss Touched by an Angel. And I know we've talked about that show specifically on this podcast before. And it's a show I've never seen. But was this supposed to be – it must have been – they said it was for CBS. Touched by an Angel had to have been on CBS, or they wouldn't have mentioned it.
Right.
What a cheap, crappy plug. Touched by an Angel, to me, seems like, oh, you know what? We just got out of church. It's time to go home. Watch Touched by an Angel.
Right.
Doesn't seem like a bunch of 20-somethings who have
Right.
superpowers. Like, everyone shut up. It's about to start.
I got plenty of time. I hope no villains come around for the next hour.
Yeah. I want to see someone get touched.
That's ridiculous.
That's what Blake said. Anyway, what happens next here? They fix the TV, and then they look on the TV and they see the lake had frozen, and they kind of see ice in the crowd, or Tori, still known as Tori. And then we cut to a next scene where Tori is sleeping and she gets kidnapped, and she's asked about her abilities from some anonymous voice. Have you not seen this?
No.
And we find out that it was the Justice League that captured her, and she wanted to see whether she was the weatherman causing all these storms. But I want to know, who is the voice booming in the background? And I ask you, but you didn't see it, so you don't know. You don't know.
Nope.
We'll find out later. Flash then becomes a super fast mailman. Did you see that?
No.
This whole time he's looking for jobs. He talks to several different people about jobs. He gets
Mailman would be perfect.
and it is, because he gets back and he's like, "Hey, you got it. You should be started by now." He's like, "Actually, I'm all done." And then I think they don't show him getting fired, but you assume that he does because he's still looking for a job after that. I think he got done suspiciously quick to where they thought, "Oh, this guy just dumped them all in the gutter."
Right.
Well,
It's hard being a Flash. Savior of the universe.
Flash.
Something about every one of us.
I like that song.
It's good. Dum, dum, dum.
I like you.
I lava you. That's what one volcano says to the other volcano.
You reverse engineer that joke.
Yeah. I did not bury the lead.
Okay, so we go back to the lab, and Tori and Dr. Eno are talking about the weatherman.
This is what I come in.
Dr. Eno says something. Dr. Eno excuses himself, and then he steps outside, and he's like in some pain or something, and his hand turns green. Did you see this?
Nope.
Hand turned green. We're at this point, we're like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
What is happening?
That's what I was thinking.
And then, what's that? We find out Fire goes back to her audition, and there's no one there except Martin. And by this time, he is crushing real hard on this girl.
Sure.
And I am too. I'm right with him.
Oh, yeah.
To me, in this story, I am seeing this film through the eyes of Martin. I am Martin. I get it, buddy.
You
is
are
smoking
Martin.
it.
I mean, that's...
What else could I say? This girl is on fire sexy. Guy then tries to win Cheryl back with some ice cream cones for some reason. He grabs some ice cream. And this is, I think, what you were talking about earlier, because the weatherman broadcasts like terror on a massive building screen, and this is where the hail comes in.
See, yeah, I mean, that was, to me, that was the first scene. So all this stuff that you've been talking about up to this point...
So Guy leaves her, and she's pissed. She's like, "Why are you always leaving me?"
He's like, "I got to split."
And then he's back instantly and saves her from being smashed to bits with all this hail by creating a green umbrella, Ella.
A.
Um,
Drunk Lullabies probably steal that.
BB then gets a page. BB is Fire. She gets a page. I like that. Did you ever have a pager?
Yeah, I actually did. I had two pagers. I had one for work when I was a group home manager.
Yeah.
It was before they bought everybody flip phones, but with the antennas that would bend and break.
Yeah.
And then I had one because I was cool. I had my own. I'd be like, "Hey, here's my pager number."
Nice. I had a pager for a very brief time. It was a very weird thing. I think it was my girlfriend from high school, like got it for me and paid for it. I never asked for it. She just gave it to me.
She wanted to know where you were. That wasn't a pager. That was a GPS.
I mean, maybe so. Well, could you track it back then?
No.
I still had it later, and this girl would send me, like, because you could send messages on it, I think. And this one girl that I knew would send me 69, which means she wanted to have sex with me.
Sweet.
Yeah, so then I would go have sex with her.
Dude, you're a man, dude.
Have you ever had the number 69 paged to you?
Not to have sex.
It's the modern day Netflix and chill. Anyway, or the sex and Netflix and chill of yesteryear, rather. BB at this point, she is in a talking head situation with Green Lantern and Flash, and she's wearing a midriff cut shirt, and I can see her midsection, and I am as hard as a diamond. This
really?
girl, oh my god,
that's the hardest known mineral.
The only thing that can break it is a hydraulic press, and I swear to God, go ahead and try to crush my milk boner with a hydraulic press. See what you get. You're gonna get a broken hydraulic press. That's what you're gonna get.
Damn right. Even a 5-ton one.
We'll see. There's a limit.
I don't want to work if you want to try it out.
There's a limit to the strength of my boner. The gang then heads to Dr. Eno's fundraiser, and they sneak in. And Adam sneaks in BB's bag. Did you see this?
I saw them sneaking in. Each one of their little skills they have got led a little further. Like Flash didn't have his, the Green Lantern didn't have his invitation, so he
like flipped the guy a quarter. And while the guy was going to catch
that was the Flash. The Green Lantern,
I'm sorry, yes.
tapped some other guy on the shoulder who was holding. It was stupid. Yeah. And then Adam, they get to this one place where there's lasers, at the door. It was security lasers, and
well, that's later. He sneaks in the bag with in BB's bag, and she just gets in because she's a hot chick.
Oh yeah.
But then, yes, you're right. They're in there, and they're kind of snooping around for clues about the weatherman. They said this is the most high-tech weather place in the area. The weatherman probably has something to do with this, or he might have access to the information. So Adam sneaks in under some lasers, and he does the limbo.
Yeah, it's like Mambo. He was playing Mambo lasers. I was like, this is dumb.
It was pretty dumb. And so he's sitting there, he's typing on there, and Tori comes in. It's like, what are you doing? And he's like, you got to check out this information I found. And she goes to look at it, and while she goes to look at it, he hightails it out of there. So, at the same time, Flash is walking around the room trying to look for a job again. Didn't get that?
No.
Okay. The gang starts shopping around the lab a little bit. They're all kind of snooping around trying to do their own thing. Flash is following the assistant, and he follows him to his house. And because the assistant seems kind of weird. Did you get the assistant at all?
No.
Okay. There's a guy there who seems kind of weird. He's always kind of pushy about this project he's working on. And then they find out the project is just some sort of weather device, and he wasn't the weatherman. They thought he might have been. So the Flash was following him. And at the party, too, did you see this where the Lantern's ex-girlfriend shows up with another dude?
No.
She shows up with some dude, and the Lantern is there by himself because he's kind of on a mission for the Justice League. Sure. But she's like, and Cheryl's like, hey, you're not here alone, are you? And then Fire walks up and says, oh, honey, I've been looking for you everywhere. She kind of saves him out of that bizarre social situation, which is great. I would take Fire any day of the week over Cheryl.
I'd punch her in the taint.
Let's see. The thing about the Flash following that guy is that the Flash is wearing bright red. And he is visible from space, if you ask me.
Yeah, red and yellow, the two most predominant colors. Even when he's going fast, it's just a big blur. He's fast, but it's a big red and yellow blur. I mean, how can you not see that blur?
There's that, or if you're near him, you'd feel the wind of him moving.
Oh, whoa!
And it's not like he was hiding behind a red convertible or a rose bush. He was hiding behind green plants and stuff, and he's bright red. He sticks out like the sorest of all the thumbs. Anyway, Tori searches out the case that gave her abilities. She goes back into the lab at this point because she uncovered some information that Adam had brought up, and in the lab she goes out to search. She's trying to say, hey, where's the origins? What is giving me this ability to freeze things? Right. And then she sees that it's gone. It's been taken away. Someone is on her. Someone knows what's going on.
Yeah.
And then the weatherman broadcasts again, and Tori, while he's broadcasting, Tori finds out it is him. It is Dr. Eno. He's the one. And
he's just in the corner in front of this camera, which is like a green screen. That's and he's just talking into it, and it's like changing his. It's dumb.
At this point, I am thinking, what has he really done wrong? The weatherman.
He's just made some weather stuff.
He's made weather.
He's wreaked a little havoc in the normal, everyday Metro, new Metro USA.
Yeah.
But, I mean, nobody's dead.
Yeah, he hijacked the airwaves. But what is it? It's not like he's killing people or he's stealing something.
Yeah, he's just making funky weather.
Yeah, leave him alone.
Jeez.
Tori gets away after he starts running after her. And she somehow knows where Adam lives. And she reveals to him that Eno is the weatherman and gives him Eno's plan. I don't know how she found out where that guy lived. The apartment that Eno, or that Adam and the lantern, whatever.
Doesn't matter.
And then at this point, again, I just have to say, okay, it goes to a scene where BB is outside of her apartment, stretching, getting ready for a run. She's wearing the skin-tight shorts and the shirt and everything. And then Martin comes up, and he's like, hey, I know I'm supposed to meet up with you later, but I was hoping I could make you breakfast. I bought you these earrings. I've got tickets to this hard to get tickets to play. They're sold out for the next 6 months.
Where is he coming up with this money? Like, why is he investing all this before he's even got? She hasn't even shown the remote amount of interest in this guy.
She has not, and he's just really taken with her. They never reveal her age, but I think they say that he's like 22.
She's got to be in her 30s. I mean, to be a superhero, you know what I mean? That's like superhero number one. 30s.
Superhero 101. Yeah, you have to be in your 30s. That's exactly right. Peter Parker was in his 30s in high school.
He pick up peppers.
Peter Piker. I can't say it. Anyway, I really cannot put too fine a point on it. BB is just sexy. She's got it going on. She is what is keeping my attention. Every frame of the show, if she's not in it, I'm searching her out. I'm looking behind boxes and trees and cars. Where is she? I am completely infatuated with her at this point. The gang then finds out about her abilities and invites them to join her team, and they take her to an underground lair.
Yeah, they blindfold her, and take her into like the post of a like one of the pillars of a bridge.
Yeah, like an overpass over a levee or something. It's all graffitied up.
Yeah, and then they go down this big elevator, I guess, and they meet John Jones.
John Jones? No,
what's his name? John Jones.
It's Martian Manhunter. Martian Manhunter.
Where did I write down John Jones, Justice League head guy?
That might be his name in it, but like that's what he's known as, Martian Manhunter.
Okay.
Which is a silly name for a silly looking guy. He looks like Jim Carrey the Mask.
Yeah, I definitely.
The layer they go down is like hundreds of feet underground in the water in a space-age looking submarine, which I can only guess belongs to the Martian Manhunter.
And they wouldn't be that deep. They're not in the ocean. I mean,
you're right.
It's a river. It wouldn't be that deep.
Maybe they're going into the waterbed. I don't know what they're doing. It's very bizarre. It doesn't make any sense. Martian Manhunter, we find out, can take human form. Now, earlier when the Green Hand was happening, was that... At this point, I didn't know if Dr. Eno was a real guy or if he was just taking his form. I assume he's a real guy and he was just copying him to try to get information out of her at one point to see what was going on. Anyway, in the next scene, Martin is pretty out of it. He's pretty upset about the girl, BB. He's had a crush on her, and he's getting some ice cream, and he's like, hey, give me a vanilla shake. He's like, you know what? Make it a double. And the ice cream guy goes, is it a woman? You know, tell me. It's like a bartender kind of exchange, but with ice cream.
With ice cream, like how do you get a double shake? What do you put? Double the milk or double the ice cream?
Double the shake.
At Dairy Queen, it would cost you $37.
Oh boy! And then let's see. Oh, there's a television at the ice cream. It's not. It's like an ice cream man in the truck. There's a TV sitting there. And Martin looks at the screen and he sees Fire on TV, and she's got the earrings, and he's like, I know who that is.
I bought her those earrings.
I
bought BB those earrings, and she's wearing in Fire's. Oh my God! I have the hots for Fire.
Why is a superhero wearing earrings?
I would think that's unsafe. Like it would not be part of their proper attire.
Yeah, that's right.
You could get snagged on something, or you could like cut your part of your head off.
It seems very unnecessary in a liability.
And a woman that beautiful doesn't need to have extra stuff to make her look beautiful.
She doesn't need to accentuate what she already got.
Just be naked,
please, for my sake. Now, Adam is then talking to Tori. They're trying to convince her to join. And he's kind of struggling with his ability, kind of his journey to becoming a superhero. And I don't know what the problem is. It's not like he looks weird. It's not like he is accidentally setting things on fire.
Right.
He can shrink.
Yeah.
He can grow big.
He shrink and go big because he changes his atoms.
And his Adam's apple too, because he talks at one point about how his voice is sometimes high pitched for a little bit after he grows back big from being small.
Sure.
If it were me, I would just supersize my penis.
Oh yeah.
I'd be walking around with a third leg, beating girls in the back of the head with it.
You just be like flip flomp, flip flomp.
That's right.
Flip flomp.
Yeah.
Flip flomp.
And I'd probably do it while I was in them too, to give them a little treat.
Ooh.
Hopefully not too big, or they'll explode like a man in front of a train. Anyway. Martian Manhunter trains Tori to use her powers, and then the Weatherman comes back to destroy the city unless he's paid $20 million, which at this point is the first thing that he's done that I feel like is villainous.
Right. You're like, hey, when you start asking for money, that's where we could draw the line.
Yeah, that's the line.
Like, you're not a villain. You're just really into weather.
Yep.
You're like a really fancy meteorologist. But when you start asking for money, that's when shit.
That's the line, pal. Martin then he confronts BB about her identity, and she denies it. She says she is not Fire. And Martian Manhunter then comes in, morphs into her.
Right.
So you got two of the same person there, and it proves that to Martin that it's not her, but it really is her. Sneaky.
Martin.
It's a sneaky job they pulled, and easily lands on the cutting room floor. Because you didn't see that, right?
No, I didn't see it.
BB ends her non-relationship with Martin at that point, which is a bummer because that guy I felt like he was wearing her down.
But hey, if it would have went to serious, maybe that romance could have. Maybe they could have had a sex scene.
Maybe.
If she was Fire, why was her outfit green? It would be yellow or red, orange.
I think so. Like, have you ever used a torch?
Yeah.
So sometimes you look at a torch and blue is the hottest. Maybe green is up there.
All right.
Does that work?
That was good.
Okay. I don't know the answer to your question. I'm sorry. Dr. Eno goes to Tori's house, and she tells him off and freezes him and takes his briefcase, which turns out to be a tracking device. Did you see this part?
Nope.
So
everything that you've said, have you seen? I just went, nope.
Why would Tori go back to her house if she knows that Dr. Eno knows who she is? Why would the Justice League allow her to go back to her house?
Yeah, he's like, you're part of us now.
Yeah, they said your old life is over. If you choose to join us, your old life is over. You have these abilities. You're going to have a crosshair on you. Let's train and fine-tune your abilities so you can be of use and protect yourself and others.
Right. What seems like a curse can become a gift.
Exactly right. Well spoken. Thank you, John Jones. But why would they let her go back to her house?
Because it's stupid.
And so she freezes them, and she takes his briefcase, which I think he wanted her to do because it turns out to be a tracking device. And then all of a sudden, she goes back to the Justice League of America headquarters, and they're getting attacked by some laser beam, which they never show the origin of the laser beam.
They don't just where it comes from or nothing. It's just I was sitting there with you eating, and I was like, where's that come from?
Green Lantern confronts the Weatherman, who's on some tower somewhere trying to get something going. He activates a tidal wave. How this works, I don't know.
No, yeah.
But a massive tidal wave all of a sudden is coming towards New Metro, and Lantern then threatens him with a chainsaw. He uses his ring that he can create anything out of,
right,
and he turns it into a green chainsaw.
Why don't you turn it into a cage and just put it right over him? Why don't you know what I mean? Like.
Or an anvil, like an Acme anvil, and drop it on his head.
Why do you gotta be like Eminem and like carry around a chainsaw?
Eminem does that?
He had his own line of chainsaws.
What? Eminem has his own line of chainsaws?
Yes.
I don't know.
What would you do without me? Well, honestly.
Well, I wouldn't know that Eminem has his own line of chainsaws. I can tell you that much. That's so bizarre. Why would he threaten the villain? Because, Justice League, they're the group of guys. They're like, we're not going to kill you. We're going to put you away so you can break out in 3 months and cause more trouble and death for everyone else. For me, I'm down with the Punisher. You put a couple, two in the head, they're dead.
Right, exactly. Let's get this. It's like let's get it over with.
Punisher's like the Punisher does his due diligence to confirm that without a doubt this person is evil and causes death or harm to others, and so he will kill them. So that stops forever from that person.
And that's what I like about it. That's why I have respect for the Punisher.
I respect the Punisher, but the Justice League doesn't do that.
No, this is the Justice League B team.
Yeah, so maybe they do threaten people with chainsaws, and maybe they do stick knives up to throats. I don't know what they're doing. But the The city is in panic. And
Oh, and then he says, the Green Lantern like talks into his sleeve. I can't stop the tidal wave.
yes, you can. Just put up a big green wall. You jerk.
I can't stop the tidal wave.
Yep. And but that's okay because Tori can. She stands right next to the shoreline and she freezes the entire. But to me, that's going to defrost eventually, and the water's just going to go somewhere.
It's not gonna just drop and go in reverse. Maybe Flash will just go around and around it until it pushes it all the way.
Yep.
But it's Tori freezes it, saves the fucking world.
She does. She saves everything, and then Fire and Adam at this point, they're doing nothing. Like Fire, apparently one of her abilities besides starting fire is that she can fly. And Adam shrinks down and gets on her shoulder, and they fly around. They don't do anything.
No, they just fly around.
The Flash is like saving or like moving kids to a safe location. The Lantern is threatening people with chainsaws. Ice is freezing something. But Adam and Fire, they literally do not do anything. Yeah. They just fly through the air, and that is it.
And then, then it goes back, and it goes back to they're in the Justice League fort or whatever.
Yep. After they capture Eno and put him over to law
with no audio. You can tell that Tori is being sworn in like a Mason.
Yeah, you're missing a few things here, too.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's so funny, all the things they cut out. This is what happens before that. The team shows up at Tori's house, all of them, and then Adam shrinks down to the size of an ant, and he walks under her door and comes in, essentially breaking and entering.
Sure. BNR.
And they're like, hey, we really want you to join the team.
Yeah, you saved everybody. We didn't do shit.
And then she's like, I guess. Like, she doesn't want to do it. And like, she really is putting her life at danger every day. And she's like, okay, I guess I will, eventually commit suicide. This is
right. And Adam has a crush on Tori this whole time.
They're both into each other, I think, for sure. And the guy who's the Green Lantern, he goes to meet Cheryl from they're at her house, and then he leaves to go meet Cheryl. BB goes to meet up with Martin to meet his new girlfriend. Martin is 22. Martin is dating a 16-year-old.
Nice.
God bless him.
To me, call the Justice League. That's a crime.
High five it. And then Barry says he's landed a job helping kids, the Flash, so he's got a job finally.
Yeah, he's going to transport kids all around.
That's right, he does. And then Ray says, hey, Ray, who is Adam, his name is Raymond something, he's like, hey, I got nothing to do. You want to go out? And so they go out together. And
he was a school teacher. Like, isn't there class the next day? Like, yeah. I don't got nothing. Let's just hang out.
You see Dr. he's being escorted to jail, but while he's in his handcuffs and in a vehicle, he is seen using some sort of a miniature high-tech laser to cut through his handcuffs. But then you don't see him escape. You don't see anything.
Sure.
But that you assume that he does and will.
Every bad guy gets away.
Yep.
Every bad guy.
That's why you have to kill them.
You have to beat the Punisher and kill them with a chainsaw.
And then, like you said, the very end is Tori being sworn into the Justice League of America.
Amazing.
The end. Whew, man, that was a lot.
It was a lot.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Let's listen to our buddies over at Low Blow Podcast, see what they got to say.
Are you sick of spoiled white people and Donald Trump bringing you the news you could care less about?
Are you sick of trolling the interwebs for penis-related news only to end up flaccid?
Do you lust for Florida only the way a mother lover can?
Then look no further than Fakakta Comedy Funhouse's Low Blow Podcast with Adam Z and Dave Rowan.
Streaming live every week at lowblowpodcast.net and available for download Thursdays at fcfnetwork.com.
Appropriately inappropriate.
Oh my! Appropriately inappropriate. Oh!
You sound like you're in pain.
Maybe I am in pain.
It's a good show. I love those guys. Little smack talk toward IBWIP, but we'll get that resolved.
Friendly competition never hurt anyone.
Yeah, exactly. Friendly competition amongst gays, straights. It doesn't matter. We're all in risk.
Wherever you find your genitalia, it's okay with us.
You put it wherever you want to. I would like a hug from Dave. I would not feel any fear of rapage.
The fact that you even say that out loud says to me that, in fact, you do fear that.
No.
You love gay people.
I do.
They keep the streets clean. Tell you that much.
I have a lot of gay men.
You have a lot of gay men?
You don't let me finish. A lot of gay men find me attractive.
You found a bad spot to pause that sentence. You found maybe arguably the worst place to pause in that sentence. They find you attractive? What about you? What about what's that?
They used to. I mean, I'm not all I used to be.
Well, what did they find attractive about you?
Oh, I would say my eyes, definitely.
See, I would have said your dick, or maybe your asshole. That's what I would have said.
Could be. Let's lay on this thing.
No,
there's some turbulence.
No, I think I want to talk a little.
There's turbulence.
No, we're talking about your penis.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
My penis causes turbulence. Oh!
Listen to the Low Blow podcast. Subscribe in iTunes. Check them out. Rate them. Please rate them. Please write a review for them. It's a great show with great people. It's all free. It's all fun. It's part of the FCF network. We love you. They love you. You love us. FCFnetwork.com. Check it out, bro. The show did not work. Obviously. They didn't even show it here in America. They showed it in UK and in Europe.
They don't even speak our language.
Right. There's not one country over there that understands a lick of English.
Exactly.
Why didn't this show work?
Let me count the ways.
Okay.
I only watched 24 minutes of this.
One.
The special effects were horrible, even for 1997. The costumes were obnoxious.
Yeah.
To me, the forming of ice, the whole is a whole story. And to be honest, a villain. If you're going to make a Justice League of America show, and you need a villain,
yeah,
this is not a fucking guy that changes the weather. Do something like
there really was no epic battle.
A bank, like a bank robber, like a heist guy, or somebody who was poisoning people.
Yeah.
Or like a pimp who was like punching the taints of all his workers.
You are really into that. Is that something you do behind closed doors?
No, I just we talked about it earlier.
It's awakened something in you.
Yeah, and it's not like a violent thing. It's just like what would it be like just to punch a taint?
It's a good question. I can't say that I've ever asked myself that, but now that you posit that question,
well, wait till you get home tonight. When you get home, because your house is very quiet. Mm-hmm. It's very quiet. It's a very surreal place.
Very surreal. You mean serene?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you're walking into a goddamn Salvador Dali painting or what?
Our vocabulary is quite different.
Got a lot of melted clocks in my house.
It causes good banter, but it also causes problems.
Well, I'm just curious. I just want to.
But I just want you
to
stop and think, and just envision yourself, just
right in my taint.
Not you don't have to punch yourself.
That's like That's some form of masturbation. Yeah, you shouldn't have punched your hand that hard, jackass.
I'll wake up with blood blisters.
Do you think there's because women they buy dildos and vibrators. Do you think there's something that you can buy that will punch you in the taint so you can have a taint punching experience on your own, or is there a taint that you can purchase to punch? Like how they have those synthetic vaginas.
It's got well, if you're buying one of those synthetic vaginas, it's got a taint on it.
You could punch it.
Yeah, punch it up.
This show did not work because the costumes are ridiculous. That's bad. It was a bad story. I agree with you on the villain. The villain sucked.
There wasn't even it was the B team. It was like the Justice League B team.
And you know what? Honestly, that to me did not ruin it. That it was the B team, because so often when you have the Justice League, you think of those three that were not there: Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. And those specifically Batman. I don't know much about Wonder Woman. I think she comes from the Amazon planet. But they have such powerful and well-known backstories that to me they trump all the smaller characters.
It's true. But how they couldn't get the rights to it's the copyrights to Batman, Superman, right?
Yeah.
And Wonder Woman. But they could get the Flash and Green Lantern.
They're probably much cheaper. What I would do to improve this too is maybe strip this from the Justice League of America. Say it's not the Justice League. And it's not the Flash. It's not. Maybe these are just superheroes.
Super cool dudes. The super cool dudes.
It's just a bunch of cool dudes. A bunch of guys with rolled up cigarettes in their white T-shirts.
Just like Grease.
Bunch of leather jackets.
The The Grease League of America.
I would love to see a bunch of dudes dressed up like Danny Zuko running around the city saving people.
Hey!
Grease Lightning! I'd love that would be a great character, wouldn't it?
It would.
You got Grease Lightning. You got the Pink Lady, right?
Yeah.
You got Rydell High.
The principal.
Yeah.
She was cool.
You got the xylophone.
And the guy from
You got Beauty
singer.
School. Beauty School
the guy
dropout.
That, yeah, the guy that sang that.
Who was that? Frankie Avalon.
Frankie Valli.
Frankie Valli.
Yeah, Frankie Valli would be the best. He'd be like, "Hey, come on, man."
What I would do to improve this show is to make it not the Justice League, but just the characters from Grease as superheroes.
Yep.
Hey, I'd watch that in a heartbeat.
Damn right.
All right, let's take this in for a landing.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
Rotten Tomatoes score. There's no score there, but it says 76% of people who are aware of it want to see it.
No.
Those people would probably be upset.
Oh, yeah, they'll definitely be upset.
3.2 on IMDb. That's really low.
That's really low.
That's
Mostly
very
for
low.
something like a lot of comic book nerds and superhero nerds, you would think would rate this higher. But you know it's bad if superhero geek nerds don't like it.
I think a lot of those people are purists, and if you mess with their stuff at all, then they will poop on you. And to me, again, I'll always include it because it's content, but IMDb score is increasingly inaccurate to
Yes.
me. This is not a 3.2. This is higher than that for me as compared to the other things and how they've been scored. This is bad. No critic reviews, viewer reviews, pretty laughable. 5 out of 10 scars. The worst superhero adaptation ever. Flawed but fun, fair. But who made the Justice League of America's a Friends clone? Oh, they said it's like the show Friends.
Oh.
They think it's more like that than anything, which is I could see that because they're all hanging out at their
Sure,
parks and stuff.
they're trying to show them the other side of superheroism.
Remember that time when the Super Friends and the Power Rangers got really drunk and had an illegitimate child? 3 out of 10 scars. Not that funny.
And also, the Flash is a horrible actor in this show. I forgot to mention that. He's horrible.
Yeah. I didn't give this movie a 1 because there must be a movie out there that's even worse. And again, I think this is a pilot, so let's not call it a movie. Lame characters, even lamer acting, lots of voice actors, even the great David Ogden Cogsworth Steers himself couldn't turn this movie into something decent. I don't know what that is. I don't know what any of that stuff means. Justice League pilot could be worse, 5 out of 10 scars. It's not great, but not as bad as all that. 7 out of 10 scars. Not great, but it could have been worse, 3 out of 10 scars. Why couldn't they just follow the comics?
Because they
couldn't. They didn't have the money.
It's all about the money.
Let's land.
DSJ, we're coming for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11 and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
What's your John Jones score, buddy?
I like this. I like this show.
Okay.
It is. This is a 5 for me.
All right.
I like the behind the scenes stuff. I like the new take with I think it's called the talking heads, right? When they have the talking heads where you're talking directly to the camera, or you're talking to someone off camera in an interview.
Yeah, you're breaking that wall.
That documentary style
Sure.
feel. I like the
Spinal
behind the scenes stuff, and I like their everyday life. The costumes are not good. The story was not great. The villain was bad. There's a lot of things that didn't work, but I like the feel of this show. I do, and I don't think I'd watch it again, but I definitely didn't hate it. So I'm going to give it a 5.
All right. I have a very intense score here. There's a lot of explanation to my score.
I know you hate superheroes stuff.
I hate superhero stuff, so that's a negative. Okay? That puts you a lower score.
BB Costa, it's got to be a positive.
BB Costa, but also Kimberly Oja,
Is that the blonde chick?
Tori.
Okay.
I remember her on the wonderful show Sex on the Beach, which was a spinoff of Baywatch.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was a comic version of Baywatch.
But it was in that same universe with similar crossover characters.
No, it was like a parody, I guess I should say. It was a parody of Baywatch.
Kind of like Son of the Beach.
Maybe that's what it was.
Oh, you said Sex on the Beach.
I thought it was Sex on the Beach.
I think it's Son of the Beach.
They had yellow instead of red. Well, she was on there. She's got nice perky boobs. I like the short hair. I see a picture of her on internet with a dog, which is cute. She had a smoking body. I don't like superheroes. Here's the problem, though. Normally, I would give it a 2.
Really?
But since I only saw half of it, almost not even half of it, I have to give it a 4. I'll give it a 4.
That's not an intense score.
There's an intense way to get to it.
Okay. I was like bracing. I was like, is he going to give this a 1?
Yeah.
Whew.
But she, and also she does not look good in the ice costume at the end. That's something we didn't talk about. It was the end where they're all walking down the aisle.
The classic cliched, yeah.
Bounce, jump, Son of a Beach. You're right. It's Son of a Beach. I don't know why I said Sex on the Beach.
Son of the Beach. Ooh, boy.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. So there's your scores. A 4 and a 5. That seems right to me. That's it. I don't want to talk about this one anymore. Justice League of America, not a bad show. I'd recommend watching it, but I'm not going to watch it again myself. And I can see why I didn't make it. I could see where it could make it too.
Right.
But
and don't watch if you start it and it says it's 24 minutes. First of all, you should have used our blue link. But second of all, don't watch that because you're just going to be confused and just hate it.
That's right. Check out the Daily Motion 80-minute version where you get a nice, clean cut of it. The sound is good, and you get to really understand some more about the back of the story, the little backstories. That's it for that one. No more Justice League of America. I'm sorry, everybody, but please join us next time when we watch the pilot episode of Heat, Vision, and Jack. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. As the result of a NASA malfunction, or miscalculation rather, astronaut Jack Austin flies too close to the sun, the rays expanding his mind and making him the smartest man on the planet. Now he and his talking motorcycle Heat Vision, which contains the mind of his former roommate, are on the run from NASA and their assassin, actor Ron Silver, who want to take his brain. They travel from place to place solving paranormal mysteries with the help of Jack's newfound ability to become a super genius when his brain absorbs sunlight.
Would you consider him a superhero?
Oh, yes, I would. When otherworldly forces or something within nature gives you an extra ability, I would do that. Especially if you put it, it can make you a super villain too, depending on how you use the villain.
Exactly. I mean, but a super character?
Well, we'll see how he uses his abilities. It sounds like he's
right.
going to help people, but I think he is a superhero. So maybe 2 superhero movies or shows in a row, to which I apologize to you.
That's okay. It's all right.
You can find the entire episode by subscribing to Couch Pilots in iTunes or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube and search Heat, Vision, and Jack. I am excited about this one. It stars Jack Black, and it was made by Dan Harmon, I believe. This is one of his very early and one of his first things that he's done. And Dan Harmon has done Community. He did the Sarah Silverman Project. Harmontown. He's got a bunch of stuff. I think he's working on something for Netflix right now. He is fantastic. He's a crazy person, but he's fantastic, and I cannot wait to watch Heat, Vision, and Jack. I've known about this and heard about it for a long time, and I've not yet watched it.
I'm excited. I trust you.
I trust
you like you were a blue link.
Well, thank you very much. If you have questions about Heat, Vision, and Jack, if you got questions about the show, suggestions, comments, couchpilotspodcast@gmail.com. Check us out on Facebook, and we're on Instagram, right? We're on all that stuff. Check us out.
Yeah, Twitter, Tumblr.
Send us a message, Twitter and Tumblr. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, the Twitter is Couch Pilots Pod.
Yep. Go to fcfnetwork.com. All of our great shows are there. We've got 7 shows, and we're circling a couple other ones right now. They're all free. They all come out weekly. Enjoy them. Subscribe to them. Comment on them. Tell your friends. If you like what you're hearing, tell your friend about it.
Yep.
We'd appreciate it very much. It helps us out a lot. I've got nothing else. Anything else you want to add before we close the show?
I'm sorry I didn't watch the whole thing. I'm sorry
Not your
I
fault.
watched a completely wrong one. I felt like this episode, all I was here for was like comedic value.
Which you provided in droves.
I know, but I felt like I was off a little bit. I felt like you were you were Tory, and you were like having to freeze this tidal wave. And I apologize. I try to keep up my end of the bargain. I know you do a lot of work, and I just feel bad. And
Please,
if you want to punch me in the taint, go ahead.
You know what? You're making a lot of light of it, and then like really talking it up. So yeah, I think I will, but not in anger.
Oh no! Just in passion, always in passion.
Right. Oh boy, this pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
We love you.
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.
This has been a Fakakta Comedy Funhouse production, produced by Jason Tosher, executive produced by Blake Clayton. For more information and content, go to fcfnetwork.com.